dog sight. Tell them been in that living room all white. I'm up all night, season ends while niggas sleeping. Lost so many guys, guess why I'm breathing. We keep it strong as the name live on, like if they was never gone. Mind blown, and need them out ever since. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Grit Culture. I need y'all to hit that like and that like button and hit that subscribe button for me. Mainly the subscribe button. You know, you can hit the like or dislike. I don't, whichever one, however you feel after watching this video. But anyway, let's get up into it. So, let's talk about YouTuber Hassan Campbell and his recent comments in his deleted video that he made. I just want to touch up on a couple things dealing with it. Hassan's been going on YouTube for a few years now. I remember when he first popped up, dealing with Star from the Star Report, Star from Starbuck, Wild back in the day. Revealed the investigation dealing with, well, not the investigation, but his personal investigation and what was said about African Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation. What was happening back then. There was another guy who had initially come out, and then Hassan, who was being referred to as Poppy, his street name, he followed up and reiterated the allegations against Bambaataa. And so Hassan has been, Hassan went from there, generated his own following. Got his YouTube account going up, and he got into the field of just different activism and speaking on different things, and shedding light and trying to give a different mindset, especially to a lot of our people that are out here hurting. But he's been caught up in a lot of controversy, and I mean a lot of controversy along the way. And so it kind of, and at times, because of the climate and what goes on in YouTube and how we react to different things, it's overshadowed. It's overshadowed a lot of his messages. And so you have the recent back and forth with him and Kwame Brown, where they were live with each other, and it didn't end up well. It's been receiving a lot of everybody on YouTube's been reacting to that also. I don't want to put a lot of spotlight on it because I just don't care about all the back and forth and all that different shit. Now, if anything, I do want to see resolutions. But a lot of people, in the public's eyes and the majority's eyes, they believe Hassan came out looking even worse than that. Now, I do believe that he instigated the conflict between him and Kwame Brown, but as far as that video, it's just in my personal objective opinion, I believe that Kwame may have came out looking worse in that. And it's no salt, no diss toward Kwame or anything like that, but I believe he came out looking worse. We got to find a way, and I said it before in past videos, we got to find a way to come to a resolution. I do understand you do want to expose the BS that goes on in the game, and focus on exposing the BS and having the education of why. But it's got a lot of the stuff's got to be accurate. We got to make sure, and we got to make sure we're not perpetuating some of the same things that we tend to fight against. And sometimes we as black men sometimes just got to go our separate ways. We don't want to continue to perpetuate, the division. You got to divide, especially when it comes to, things that are the truth and things that are false. The truth is always divisive, but at times, sometimes we got to be able to identify when, maybe we're stepping on the wrong person's toes. Some of these guys out here, they got to get the business, but sometimes, we may be on a complete warpath and, I don't know. It just may not be conducive towards, being progressive, toward, progress. So But anyway, so Hassan made a whole video and he made a rant, that is now deleted off Facebook. But he just said some crazy things on this video. Some very disturbing things on this video. Completely unacceptable. That's bullshit. And, he needs to come out and apologize for that. But now one thing that does need to put in, one thing that needs to be put in perspective is, he said he was playing. You don't play like that, first of all. That's bullshit. You don't even play like that. You don't make allusions to different things like that. But, a lot of people have been doing shit like that for years. From rappers, the guys on YouTube. I'm pretty positive a lot of the guys who are criticizing them now on YouTube, I'm pretty positive that there's a large, extreme portion of them that do the same crap, and they get into it with another YouTuber and start spouting out crap and I'll do this to your kids and this and that and all that crazy stuff. It's ridiculous. But Hassan, he poured more flame, he poured more fuel on the fire, to the criticism that surrounds him. It just gets caught up in just a lot of just crazy stuff at times because he has these outbursts. But I believe Hassan, brings a lot to the table too. I believe he brings a lot to the table. He brings a lot of important information to the table. Even Kwame agreed on that. And stuff that's really needed. And we don't want to overshadow that because there's just not too many people who are just, who are taking the positions. There's a few of them out here, but, there's not a lot of them that take the positions that Hassan takes. And so, even with, when we're talking about, if he starts getting into conspiracy and different things like that, he has the freedom to do that. It's at the end of the day, it's on the person who receives the message to discern through those different things and weed out the BS from, what's the real things to receive, the real information. And so, I think still there's a little responsibility on the person who's giving the information, but a lot of times a person can be, misconstrued or just misinformed. So, that's why I say we're all in this together and trying to figure this out. There's no, screw all the leaders and all this shit. We all need to, everybody, from the sender to the recipient needs to display leadership qualities, and we all have a responsibility in putting this puzzle all together. But I'm of the, I always say, now if a person does some stuff, they need to be held accountable. I don't believe Hassan, he's got a lot of stuff going on. I don't understand the whole thing, that the whole thing with Bambaataa and why he was with Bambaataa, as a teenager. I don't understand that. I don't get that. I don't understand the whole, I'm not saying Hassan's a homosexual or anything like that. I just don't understand none of it. I don't understand, I've never been abused. I don't understand abuse. I've seen people get abused, but I've not seen it, but I've know people who've dealt with abuse. But there's just a lot of things I don't understand it when it comes to the mindset and how it affects people, growing up in their formative years and even into being a teenager. I just know, I didn't like none of that. I didn't like none of the gay stuff from the time, talking for myself. I have no problem with gay people, but I didn't like none of the gay stuff. I wasn't with it from the time I was a kid, to where I could even understand all that different stuff. Never had no attraction to male. So I don't, and I'm not saying that's what Hassan had, but I don't understand how that affects a person's mind. And so I'm empathetic to that part. So he's got a lot of personal issues and, different things that he's got to work out. And these are the times that, sometimes, you got to, if you're not going to help a person, you got to either let him, figure it out on his own and of course, hold him accountable for his different words. But, all the, ad hominems and things that have nothing to do with it and clowning them and different stuff like that. It seems like that's all that black black YouTube has been about. Just conflict, consistent conflict, instead of trying to help each other through, like I said, just, and it's not your responsibility, but damn, I mean, or maybe it is, I don't know, I'm talking, I'm talking flawed right now myself. I feel like, we do have a little responsibility within ourselves, but, that's my subjective thought. You as a person may feel like, it's on the person themselves to get themselves together. I want to be able to, reach out and help a person when they get in these dark places like this. Like I said, and this is in no way condoning anything that Hassan said on that video, but taken into context, I don't believe he's a pedophile. I believe if he was, it's something that would come out, and he'd be, I believe it would come to the light if that was his lifestyle. I don't believe that. I could be wrong, but I don't believe that's how Hassan rocks. I just believe that's, like I've seen multiple YouTubers do over and over again. They have these just ridiculous, just irrational reactions to everything that's going on, especially when you having the backlash and dealing with so many different people and opinions, and a whole bunch of people saying ignorant shit to you on YouTube, which Hassan deals with, and so you tend to deal with those ways in the wrong manner. So it's just something to put in perspective. Got to put everything in perspective. Now let's try not to pile on, to try to at least help help the situation, help the brother. Yeah, but my message to Kwame Brown and other YouTubers is, if there's a possibility, let's try to make amends if we can. Sometimes it's you can't do it. There's a possibility, let's try to make amends with each other to the best of our abilities. And if we can't, let's at least attempt to reach a point to where we can just agree to go our own separate ways. And, we don't have to continue to apply the pressure, because, it affects. The youngins watch this. The youngins watch this shit. And this is a lot of the things that, contributes to, the murders that we see. Just the conflict that we see in our neighborhoods. Because a lot of us just don't know how to let things go. We won't let things go, and we want to keep it pushing and, keep a person, keep the disses or whatever, keep talking about a person. And a lot of times that just contributes, when at times, a lot of these beefs or different murders probably could have been resolved if, the other person just quit talking, quit saying anything about the person. Now, I can't tell Kwame or anybody what type of content to put on their channel. That's up to them, and how they want to get money. That's up to them. I just, if the objective is to, to teach the next man and teach the youngins so they can understand how to move, and we can remedy some of the issues that we see, it's just a suggestion. It's just a suggestion. Because, we're in turmoil. We are in turmoil right now. So, I wish the best to all these brothers, and I just, like I said, I pray, different things can get resolved. Wish the best for Hassan. Hope, I hope he stays strong through all of this, man. And just, like I said, watch your words, calm yourself, calm your temper, think before you speak. Think about the things you think, at least try your best to think before you speak. Some things that are just off limits. I don't care how mad you are. You can't say that, especially when you're in the position that you are, and you understand that you have a lot of people who are waiting on you to slip up, Hassan. So you can't make those mistakes, because it'll overshadow your message. Nobody will pay attention to it. I see more things criticizing Hassan and making fun of him because of his shortcomings, then, I see more of those on the internet than I do, some of the gems and jewels that he's dropped. It's just the reality of the game. So, just something to think about. Let's all do better. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Am I wrong? Are there things that I'm missing or things that I need to understand? Like I said, I'm flawed. I don't have all the answers. I just try to do the best I can and try to, apply insight, in ways that I think I can. That's it. So, I'll holler at y'all later. Also, P.S. one more thing before I sign out. We gotta we gotta create a space as men to make it comfortable for other men who have been through abuse. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen that Kevin Gates interview. It's just a whole stigma. A lot of men don't want to speak on it. But it happens a lot. There's a lot of men out here who've been mentally damaged. And so we got to create that space, and we can't, ridicule anybody for going through that. A lot of times that's the things, don't condone the things they do, but it creates monsters out here. So we got to make sure that we're doing our part. That's all I got after this, man. Peace.